Hey y'all, good morning. It's 7 o'clock and this is my room. We have, I don't know what to call that. We have my sewing machine, plus some clothes I want to wear for a photo, and all of my school supplies. The dress I'm going to wear today, covering the open drawer. What is this? I don't know what that is. That could definitely be fixed. My vanity, look at that, wow. This is my mirror. And then next to my bed we have all this. And my bed, oh, I'm washing my pillowcase and my clothes, so that's why that's like that. So basically, I wanted to talk to y'all about being the main character and romanticizing your life. I'm sorry I'm speaking so slow. It's still early, but basically I have been reflecting a lot and watching a lot of videos, not just those main character videos, but videos that are just like inspirational speakers with the cool little galaxy videos. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but they're just talking like deep philosophical ideas. I feel like being a main character is something I've always been doing, but it's just that it never had that term back then. But I'll just talk more about romanticizing your life. This is hard to clean and talk, so basically romanticizing your life, at least to me, is when you learn how to appreciate the moment you're in and do the things that make you feel happy, that make you feel like life isn't a struggle or like surviving. It doesn't have to be huge things. Like, if I were to choose, I would prefer to be traveling the world, but there's other things that work with where I'm at that also I can afford. So that's why they use the term main character, basically living as if you feel like you're the main character in a coming of age movie or whatever movie you like, I guess. But it makes more sense of coming of age because a lot of times those characters are alone and they are learning on their own, just enjoying their surroundings and not caring what other people think. That's kind of why I have a dress on right now, just because it makes me feel in a movie, you know? And when you think of yourself like in a movie as a main character, it makes life more appealing. So like, I have in my agenda every weekend I have something new for like just my character. So I think, let's look. Today I actually might go back to school shopping because I'm probably not gonna get anything because I don't need anything, but it's just like one of those things where you just go with your family or friends to Target and just look around at the pretty stuff. So it looks like next weekend I have myself going to the nature preserve. One thing I've really loved all my life, and you probably can tell because all the plants in my videos and Instagram, I love nature. I don't know what it is, but I feel some sort of connection with it. So just sitting in nature and being in nature is something I've enjoyed my whole life, and taking care of nature, all of my plants. So I'm gonna go to the nature preserve. Something I had done at the beginning of the summer that kind of fell off was just doing things I enjoy but alone. I know a lot of times people can be anxious going to places alone, like restaurants or hikes or whatever, but the purpose of going to the preserve is to be alone in my own silence with my own thoughts and just enjoy it in the moment, you know? And then hopefully the next day I'll have time to thrift again. I might not buy anything because I don't really need anything. There's one thing I want white jeans because I want to color on them. Not color, but draw on them. But if I don't find them, that's fine. My closet is very full, so I'm not going there to have a shopping spree. I'm going there for one item and just to browse. Next weekend, this is probably gonna be moved to like today, but I'm gonna make a soundtrack. It's something I've always done, just having my own soundtrack, because I don't know, you really can control your mind in some ways to controlling your mind to a certain perspective. You really can control your mind to have a certain perspective on life, which is wild. But having the soundtrack, like, and there's also other soundtracks on Spotify that you can just click on, but I like to do me personally so I don't have to skip songs. But you can rewire your brain into thinking you are somewhere that you're not. Movie soundtracks, already made soundtracks for coming of age movies, like compilations. I don't know how to say that word. It depends how you feel about music, but music's just something I've always liked. Also, it's something that's always playing. I don't think I go a day without listening to music, which is kind of weird to think about. Like, how do I don't even live in silence. Oh my gosh, there's a zipper. Anyway, and then that same day with my soundtrack, I want to go on a drive, just a relaxing drive, windows down, music up, just driving, you know? Because I don't know where I want to drive. Oh, I think I know where I want to drive. I want to drive more where it's not just suburban or city, like, or maybe, I don't know. Once again, like, I just want to dress up with my jewelry, my dresses, and, you know, live in the moment, just being happy on my own, enjoying myself, and feeling like something's coming. Something else I want to get back to is reading. I was doing that beginning of the summer. It's never been a big thing that I've done, but this summer I tried and I read probably 1.5 books, but they were, I think I read 2.5. One was kind of small. One was the Martin Luther King autobiography, so that was pretty big, and another one was also almost the same size as that. So I'd say I read a lot, and it only had been a few months. I think the best way to get back into that is reading outside, like having a blanket outside and just laying in the grass with the sun. Even though it's smoky right now, it's still warm. And I don't know, outdoors always get my vibes up. Like, I'm planning on doing my classes outdoors because I'm sitting at home, so I can really take it wherever I want. Another thing I have written is piercing my earlobes. It's not that I've always wanted to pierce myself, but it's just something that I want a third earlobe piercing. I don't want to pay for it, like, from a piercer, because it's just earlobe. And I've always wanted to do something bold enough that I could think I could never do, which is piercing myself, because I have a problem with not being able to inflict pain on my body. So I'm going to obviously research, don't worry about me. I'm not going to just grab my sewing needle like I did last time. So I'm going to hopefully get to the point in my life where I can pierce my earlobe, get my thirds, but I'm also going to buy new earrings because I want to have titanium ones, so that will be a little bit. I've been taking up new hobbies. That's why my room's a little bit of a mess. I have this crocheting kit that I have not started. I just put this on and then I went downstairs and then it's the next day now. So I'm hoping to have time to do this once the sun comes out. You know, it's probably not going to come out because it looks really smoky, but I might still go outside, just bringing my inhaler. And then I found this in my sister's room, who apparently took it from my brother. It's basically a following along drawing thing. I don't even know how much you can see, but yeah, you just follow along. I am really into creative things like drawing, watercoloring, sewing, crocheting. All that stuff is something that I can just like lose my mind in. Oh, I also wanted to make jewelry. I have so much, all this stuff in my, not all of it, but half the stuff in all my bookshelves. I only have 1 row of books, 1, 2, 3, and I have 7 rows total. I'd say 1, 2, 3 out of 7 are just jewelry and sewing stuff. But the main point of this is I want to get to a point in my life where I feel completely satisfied just being completely alone. Like, I'm more of a people person. I always have to be connected, always have to be with my friends, talking to my friends, and I get to a point where I get really lonely if I am not at least communicating with friends. And it's been kind of weird to think about. Like, I don't know why it's like that, but I feel like I cannot be alone, which is not great because you're alone a lot of times, especially during this time. So I've also been hearing about people who live alone for 1 year of their life before like the start of their life. So I feel like after college I want to learn to just live alone, which sounds scary but also appealing at the same time. Like, I don't know how possible it is because a lot of times you share apartments. But if I can get to a place in my life financially, I want to live a year just completely alone in my own place and doing my own thing, because I feel like that's what it takes to finally not discover yourself, because I know who I am, but to appreciate yourself, who you are, and not let anyone change that, because that's been a common theme throughout my life, changing myself for others and then having to refine that person. So, but yeah, that's my take on being the main character. That's my take on romanticizing your life. I think it's a very important thing for people to like think about and maybe try to do, because I think a common thing that I've been hearing with people is they go through this point in their time where they just in the moment don't like it, and then when they're older they romanticize it, even though they were literally suffering at that time. Like it doesn't make any sense. So I think it's good to get out of that suffering as early as you can and enjoy this moment, because a lot of things echo the future. So your past can continuously echo the future and deter you from so many things. I watched this commencement speech with Matthew McConaughey, and I don't remember what it's called, but the last thing he talked about was not leaving crumbs. When you're living your life, don't leave the little things that will come back to bite you in the future. So I think he used an example like, you owe a guy and you see him in public and now you're like hiding from him because you didn't pay him 5 years ago or something weird. That's not really something for me, because I never owe anybody, because I did once, and that was one of the scariest times of my life. Well, I'm being kind of dramatic, it wasn't that bad, but I try to not have to owe people, so I guess I just don't like to leave crumbs. I don't like things to come back to me. And if you live a life like that, you don't have to be older and still have these things echoing and repeating in your future. Like, you kind of diminish that, diminish the possibilities of those, and have a better chance of having a future that you'll enjoy, a future that you can romanticize the past about, but also romanticize the present about, and just overall be more satisfied. If you enjoyed watching, make sure to like this video, comment down below if you liked me talking about things like this. Make sure to subscribe for more content. I'll see you next week. Bye.